bringing you the news and information you need from the people making a difference. This is Comcast Newsmakers.
Hi, I'm Tonya Caruso. Welcome to this edition of Comcast Newsmakers. There's a new smoking ban in Pennsylvania, and here to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly is State Senator Wayne Fontana. Thank you so much for coming in and talking with us today.
My pleasure.
This has been a long time coming. You say some good and some bad came out of this.
Yeah, so obviously the good news is that there is a smoking ban in Pennsylvania that will take effect in 90 days, a little less than 90 days right now. But on the other hand, there is some bad news, and that being that there are exemptions. There are some things that weren't included in being prohibited that maybe should have been. And the second thing I think that happened is Allegheny County had passed a smoking ban that actually, as it turns out, was more strict than the one the state has just passed. This legislation let Philadelphia keep their smoking ban, but did not let Allegheny County or Scranton or even the city of Pittsburgh, who already have a smoking ban, keep theirs. So that to me, and not only that, any local municipal government could have had a stricter ban if it was put in there that they were allowed, and it was not. So they're not even allowed to have a stricter ban. They just have to go along with the state's ban.
So then how do you remedy that, and why can Philly have a stricter smoking prohibiting folks than Allegheny County? Well,
the excuse was that they had it in place already, and Allegheny County didn't because the judge had thrown Allegheny Counties out. But the city of Pittsburgh does, and Scranton does. So the excuse was kind of shaky. But the four senators from Allegheny County stood up, and we got our colleagues to stand up, and we actually defeated it. But because it was in conference committee, we couldn't amend it, and that was the process. And once we discovered that, we didn't want no smoking ban. So we hope in the future we can, in fact, we already have a bill introduced to let Allegheny County have a stricter smoking ban if they so desire.
Okay, so then the other side of the coin, you still have lots of folks out there saying that you're infringing on their rights. You have lots of bars and restaurants saying that could hurt business. Tell me about the exemptions that are out there.
Well, the main exemptions I think that have caused most of the controversy is with the casinos. In Allegheny counties, there was no smoking in the casinos. But this state ban allows 25% at least in the casino that they can have smoking. The other complaint, and I think it's legitimate, is that some bars that have only up to 20% of food sales are also allowed to have smoking, continue to have smoking. I think that's going to be difficult to enforce. I think it's going to be difficult to determine whether it's 20 or 25 or 22. So the bars that have 50% food are going to lose business to the bars that have less than 20%. And I think that's creating a lot of controversy right now. And then you obviously have the others out there that say smoking's not illegal, so we shouldn't be infringing on our rights to smoke if we want to. But that's not what it's about. What it's about is the health, and we as elected officials have to protect the health of our citizens, and secondhand smoke is unhealthy.
Is there any thought that this will kind of balance out on its own, that you may see more and more people who don't want to go to a smoky bar or restaurant? And are you hoping that could be persuasive down the road as you continue?
I think that's probably what's going to happen. Even our introduction of another piece of legislation to help Allegheny County is going to take some time to get that enacted. So you would hope that when you look at New York and some of the other states that say there's been no problem, there really hasn't been. Even the casinos, as you know, in Atlantic City, it has just said no smoking in any of the casinos completely. So we would hope that eventually it just works itself out and there won't be any smoking anywhere.
So any time frame when you hope to come back with some of these changes?
Well, I think we won't see it in this session. I would imagine we'll have some debate early next year.
But in the meantime, in 90 days, most bars and restaurants around here, public buildings, smoke-free.
Absolutely, and I think some will voluntarily go smoke-free anyway. I think, as you said before, some of that will work itself out.
Well, State Senator Wayne Fontana, thank you so much for coming in and talking with us today. Do come back. We'll talk more about this. You can update us on the situation. We'll talk about some other things as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm Tonya Caruso. Thank you at home for joining us. We'll see you next time on Comcast Newsmakers.
The proceeding has been a presentation of Comcast Newsmakers.